and I've done this before when I've talked to friends of mine when they're like, "What's the deal in what with this whole traditional publishing versus indie thing?" And let's say you're querying an agent, okay, and it takes you a year to land an agent, which, for the record, I feel like that's very generous to say that you would land an
Yeah,
agent in
that's
a
quick.
year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's say you landed an agent in a year. Let's say then it takes that agent a year to sell your book. Let's say then that your publishing house can get you on their publishing schedule, usually takes at least a year, in that once they buy your manuscript, that doesn't mean it goes to print. It means that you're going to go through the process. So you're probably on next year's list at best. So, like, from the moment that I decide that I want to publish traditionally to the moment where my book hits the shelves is like a minimum 3 years,
Yep.
generously, because
Yeah.
conservatively, you're talking multiple years. Some people query and never find an agent. Some people query multiple books and it takes them 5 books before they find a book that fits an agent's wish list, mood, alignment of the stars, you know? So
Yep.
I wish people were more upfront with the literal pain and suffering associated with trying to get a traditional book deal when you can put out a high quality finished product for independent publishing for a reasonable amount of money in as quick a timeline as you feel like.
Yeah, yeah. And when I say this, I feel like when we discuss it, like, I feel like some people have gotten the wrong idea. Like, I have specific things where, like, I have this set of stuff, right? Like, I have like one world no one's ever touching but me. It's just going to be indie. I feel like it'll be really successful in the indie sphere, and I don't want it's. I've just spent too long on it. Right? I don't want any. Speaking of too many cooks in the kitchen, I don't want any gods or cooks in the kitchen besides me at that point with that one. But I have other stuff, right? In between, I'm like, sure, if somebody was like, hey, like, why not, right? Middle stuff. I got other stuff over here. I'm like, sure, like, I'm gonna try. But like, I think hybrid's a good route to go. I would love to do some of those things to funnel, my more creative things that I think maybe are just the indie sphere, very specific for it. But so it's not. I think sometimes people think when we talk about, I'm like knocking traditional, and that's not the case. I have traditional authors on here all the time. Again, we're just talking about. Just want to be really clear. We're just talking about your particular path. So there's so many different ways to do things and so many different paths. And we're pretty blessed, I think, is what me and Ben are trying to say, with
Yeah.
like how we are, like you can literally decide, I'm going to do this, go this way or that way. I think Kickstarter has been a great one too. I have some people that are going to help me out with a few. Once I start get some stuff out there, I think I'm going to try and go that route. Things are going to be really, price I'm asking for it to be pretty low. I've seen some people do well for that, but I also have some interesting things, to offer, I think, for tiers and stuff like that. I've seen some people do really successful. So there's so many different options nowadays. But I think what we're trying to say, right, Ben, is that don't put yourself into a particular box just because you think you have to do that thing. So yeah, really keep that goal in mind. I think is a really good one.
Yeah.
So go ahead, sir.
Sorry, just to be super clear, because I don't want any trad authors thinking that I'm down on their choice. I'm not a huge fan of traditional publishing right now as an industry. It has nothing to do with people's choices. So if you're a traditionally published author, congratulations. You made it through the elaborate hazing ritual that is the whole process to get there, and you deserve your success for that. I'm just not joining you, and that's okay. And yeah, exactly. People need to decide for themselves why they're doing what they're doing and what they're willing to deal with.